everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wine Women Life. It's your girl, Christina.
I'm Ariel.
Welcome. So today we are going to do more of an inspirational podcast. The title of it is Stop Caring. Ariel, you sent me a beautiful video from Trent, I think it's Trent Shelton. And we're going to go more into detail with that. And you may question, well, stop caring about what? Stop caring about people's lack of support. Stop caring about what other people think of you, their perceptions of you. And we're going to go into why this topic is so important. And we're going to talk more about knowing your worth and turning pain into triumph. So first, let's talk about why this topic is so important, especially for us as women.
So I would say that the topic's important because we just need to stop looking for validation from other people because our happiness lies within us. No person on this earth can take away our happiness unless we allow them or give them that power to. From what I've seen from Trent, he was basically talking about people leaving in and out of your life. People not accepting you for who you are. We just got to stop caring. We cannot live our lives based off of other people. We have to keep going. We have to just keep on the path that we believe is where our destiny is going to lead us. I think the first thing that we're going to touch on is knowing your worth. If someone's deciding to walk away and you know, like in your heart that they're not what you need in your life, let them go. Know that we as people, we deserve to have only the best interest around us, only positive people, not negative people, not people that want to suck our energy or mean us any harm, not envious people, devious people. We have to know our worth and what to stand for.
Absolutely. I realized that I could not rely, like you said, on other people to support me through my aspirations in life and so forth. And I remember I had put so much energy into, well, why doesn't this person support me? Or why doesn't this person uplift me? And why this and why that? And it was literally sapping me of my joy. And I just had to stop and say, you know what? I need to fill my own cup. And if this person chooses to not support me, that's okay. That's their decision. I no longer have to be around that person because, like you said, we need positive energy in our lives. And everybody is on a different path. Sometimes we're on two separate paths, and that's okay. We cannot care too much about what somebody else does. And along with that, about knowing your worth, a lady a long time ago told me, she said, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And some people, they're here for a reason, maybe to teach us our worth. Whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or just acquaintances in general, they may come into our life to tell us, hey, you know what? They don't know this, of course, but life in general is trying to tell us individually, this is your worth. Your worth is invaluable, meaning you can't put a price on your worth ever. So yeah, as soon as we start developing that self-confidence in ourselves, we will see a major change.
And like one of the quotes is straight out of his little commentary. People will quit on you, and sometimes it's the ones that you did the most for, but you can't let those quit on you make you want to quit on yourself. That was deep for me because I'm like, you know, it don't matter if you come and leave out my life. That doesn't change me. That doesn't change who I am as a person. It's what hurts the most. When you put so much time and energy into relationships, whether it be with a significant other or a friend, and then, you know, after a certain amount of time to find out that these people weren't really with you for the right reasons, or they weren't in it like you were in it, it's hurtful. Like, it's like, because you can't get time back. You can never go back and erase memories. You can't go back and erase pain or trauma or anything that you experience within these relationships that we create. You can't get time back. I think like that message is saying, out of all of it, we got to keep going. We can't quit becoming who we want to be, or we can't quit or just, go into a hole because, oh, my best friend's not talking to me, or, oh, my girlfriend's walked away, oh, my husband's gone. We have to keep going and striving to be a better version of ourselves. Because at the end of the day, our happiness is ultimately up to us. And there was another comment. True colors get revealed when it's real.
Yes.
We know that's saying. When people get upset, that is when the truth comes out, because angerness brings out true colors.
Yes.
And a lot of things that you put out there in the atmosphere, you cannot take back. Because there's a lot of things that you put out there and be like, well, you know what? I didn't mean it. And
oh yeah,
you did. Oh, you definitely meant it. So we just got to be careful what we say to each other. And sometimes, what we say can be the ending to a relationship. Like I said, whether it be a friendship or a significant other, like, you got to watch what you say.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. It's so important for us to think before we speak. And we talked about this in a few other podcasts, to just calm ourselves down, so we can come back more level-headed. And in harmony with that quote, the last quote you mentioned from Trent, how true colors get revealed when things get real, I thought about it from a different perspective as well. And just from personal experience, like when I remember when I was always down, I noticed there were certain people, like if I were going through a breakup, there were certain people in my life, former friends, who they were always there. Like they always, what's wrong? What's going on? Tell me all about it. Let's talk about it. But then I noticed when it was time to celebrate me, they were never there. And I learned, because initially I thought, wait, but they were there for me when I was down. And then I read this article that said, beware of people that are always there for you when you're down, but they never congratulate you or inspire you or support you when you're up, when it's time to be there. Or like, for instance, with the podcast or with my beauty stuff, things of that nature. And that's when I realized the saying we talked about before, misery loves company. Certain people like to see you down. They like, because they are feeling something inside of themselves that is negative, that negative energy. So when they see you, oh, good, she's going through stuff. Okay, yeah, now I feel better about myself. I didn't realize that people were, it's like I knew it, but it hits you more when you experience it from someone that's close to you. And so that's why I like when he said that, just when stuff gets real, that's when the true colors come out. And I've seen people's true colors come out when I started to get self-motivated, lift myself back up. I got over the breakups. I worked on myself. I started the self-love journey, but then I noticed people in my life, oh, who does she think she is kind of attitude. And I have no place for people like that. So yeah, I had to let people go just because of that. And it's very unfortunate.
I would say that people would definitely, and it's sad, like, it's so sad. If people seem to be like, I feel like it's like a hatred almost. It's envious, or, oh, she doing good. I don't want to hear that. And that's crazy. Like, we should be able to celebrate one another. Like, if you have a business that's going, and even if you have an idea, guess what? I'm going to be like your cheerleader, rah, rah. Because that's what we need. We need more supportive people. I need someone there when I'm down, but I do need someone to celebrate me and tell me I'm doing a good job and just encourage me to keep going.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's like they're basically energy suckers. Whenever you're down or whatever, they're just over there to suck up all that, what we women do. We are little chicken cuckoos. Woe is me. And girl, you don't need him. But I really want somebody to be on my team and be like, girl, keep going.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. Or, give me pointers, give me hints or whatever. Support.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're not there, I think that's another thing. People are so used to accepting negativity that it's hard for us to let go of relationships when we realize that we do need to let them go, regardless if it be a relationship with a man or a woman, or like we've been talking about, a friendship. We have to recognize those signs and be able to cut the cord. Yeah. Sometimes sooner than later. I think another point of that is turning pain into triumph. What do you think about that?
I think that's so beautiful, because we do not want to lay in negativity or pain. It's okay to, as human beings, we will have pain at some point. We have had it, we will have it, and it's a part of life. We take it in, we say, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now, but you don't want to sit in it. You want to lift yourself up, and that's a part of being self-motivated. I actually wrote a blog about this, being self-motivated. Self-motivation is the key to success. Lifting yourself up and not relying on other people to do that for you. Because you mentioned to me a long time ago, just in conversation, that you keep doing that, you'll be disappointed, because you don't know who's going to lift you up and who's not. The person you think will lift you up, they won't do it. So it's just good if you can develop that self-confidence, develop that self-motivation, lift yourself up off of the ground and walk on that path that you are meant to walk on, that path of success. And don't let anybody get in your way, because people will try to throw daggers at you from every angle. And one thing I say is, when you build a high wall of self-confidence, and you have all these outside forces, they won't be able to get through. They will not be able to get through. So that's why we need to work on ourselves first, so that we can be able to protect ourselves from any negative energy from the outside.
It's a song, I can't remember who sings it, but the singer is talking about rising above all the negativity, rising above all the jealousy, rising above all the pain. And I mean, at the end of the day, when you stop caring, that's elevation itself.
Yes.
Because as long as we give people that power over us to control our feelings and our thoughts and our emotions, all because, I don't want to lose this person, we got to stop caring. And then when we decide to let those people go, it's just like grief. It's not easy to have someone walk in and out your life. But like we were talking about, turning that pain into something even better, I think it's like just knowing that the next relationship that I get into, I'm not tolerating this, or I'm not doing that. If I meet a person and they seem to want to be a friend of mine, these are the things I'm going to look forward to, just to protect my energy, protect myself.
Yes.
And I think when we get to that level of knowledge and our eyes are open to realize when that stuff is coming, we're able to be like, oh, no, not having it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Stop caring.
Yeah. I used to be very open with any and everybody. I just let anybody come into my life, relationship wise, friendship wise. I just gave everybody a fair chance. And I know some people may be like, well, you should give people, no, you should have requirements. I do feel like you said, you need to have, just like in a relationship now, well, when it comes to relationship, I have core values. And if I wrote them down, If a person, and coach told me to do this. He said, write down your core values. If a person does not match up to this, then you know right away you're out, you know? Same with a friendship. I didn't think about doing it with a friendship, but now I do. Have your core values. If a person doesn't match up, you know, you don't have to necessarily be friends with that person. You can be acquaintances or whatever. You have to know how to protect yourself. And it's not, and we're not talking to the point where you just isolate yourself completely from everybody. You know, we are just talking about protecting your heart, protecting your energy, your soul. And at the same time, we cannot avoid people trying to bring negativity in our lives. That's something, it's just going to happen at some point, whether it be on our jobs, or out here just walking the street, you know what I mean? But it's just a matter of being able to deal with that in a positive way and not allowing it to mess with our mental state or mess with our hearts. There is no greater joy than having that inner peace. And when we lift ourselves up, like you mentioned, coming out of that pain, oh man, it's a beautiful thing. And it's an inspiration to other people. You never know, by your actually taking the steps to come out of that pain, you don't know who you will inspire. You don't know who's watching you. So that's another thing I keep in mind. Sometimes people could be watching us and we don't even know it. They're watching to see, can she, you know, and they might be going through something themselves, and then your example will help them. And then their example will help another person. It's like a domino effect.
That is so true. That's why I'm like, I mean, I've had people do that to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've all been through things in our life, but just to hear it from someone else, like, you know what? I was watching you. I'm proud of you. Like, you're an inspiration to me. And I'm like,
that's beautiful.
Who's she talking to? But like you said, we don't know who's watching you. It could be family members, co-workers, and your strength and the ability to walk away from things can give someone else strength. You can be a walking inspiration, and your testimony can be like the very back thing that makes someone walk away in an abusive relationship. That makes someone walk away from mental abuse. If you have children, walking away and ending toxic things can show them an example of what to accept and what not to accept and how to treat people. Because everything doesn't have to end badly. Every relationship that you sever doesn't have to be, well, I'm mad at him, he's mad at me, or she's mad at me. You can just agree to disagree, like I do all the time, and keep it cordial. Just know that, you know, I still have love for you. I still care for you. But that don't mean you got to be in my life. Everybody does not have to have access to your life. And we have to learn to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. If that's what it takes, you know what I'm saying, to protect our energy or to protect our space. Mm-hmm. Because some people may look around and be like, I don't have nobody in my circle that's really what I need them to be. Yeah. You never know what God has set up to walk into your life later on down the line, or, you know, in the future. Right. But we have to know when to end things and when to stop giving ourselves to a situation.
And one more thing I want to add, something Coach told me. He said, because I remember at one point, I'm going to share a little something from our session. He told me, this is a while ago, he told me, I told him, I said, Coach, I said, you know, I've let quite a few people go out of my life. And I said, I don't even know, like, I know I'm making the right decision, but at the same time, this decision, it feels weird. Like, cause it's like, okay, now who do you have at this point? You know, you don't have a whole lot of people left. And so coach told me, he said, K-Mac, that's what he calls him, K-Mac. He said, do you know, you don't even know like how good of a thing this is for you to let these people go. He said, now you have an opportunity for positivity to come into your life. And he said, you don't know, by your letting people go out of your life and stop putting all that energy into and caring so much into what they don't do or what they do. He said, now you are opening doors that you otherwise might not have been able to open. He said, now you have a grand opportunity for things in your life that you really, really want to fall into place because you let this go. It's hard of a decision, and it wasn't easy, because when you're friends with the person for years, it's just like, oh, you put, but it's always quality over quantity every single time. You could be friends with a person for 6 years and that friendship was never really nurtured, It's always quality over quantity. So that's another point I wanted to mention, something I really appreciated.
I like that. I really like that. Quality over quantity. Yeah. Because that means that you can be in a room full of 200 people, but you only have maybe 2 people that you're really close with.
Yeah.
Which means that we can be surrounded by people our entire lives. And one day we look around and be like, dang, I can only depend on you.
Yeah.
You. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
But we can't dwell on it. Like, that's life. We have to know when to stop caring, when to let people go, when to take our energy back, when to take our happiness back, when to gain control of everything in our lives.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's all.
That's it.
It's simple. It's simple to say. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, I've had people in my life, going back to something you said earlier about when I don't know if it was you or Trent that mentioned the quote from Trent, but it was about how, you might have been there for a person and did stuff for a person and you don't get that in return. I've had that. There was a former friend in my life who I was there for that person when they didn't have nothing. Financially, I was there for them. And when it was time to support me, and I didn't even ask, it wasn't financially, it was just straight, just support. Nothing. And I'll be honest, that's not the first that's not the first time a person has done that to me. I've had quite a few people come into my life and try to use me. And so it's caused me to put up a little bit of a wall. And sometimes that's something I have to work out with my coach. I got to work that out, because it's hard when you support people and then when it's time for you to receive that support, they don't do it. It's so, like you mentioned before, it's so hurtful. It's so hurtful. And so it's caused me to put up this wall with other people. And I said, I have to work on that, because everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like, well, who's not like that and who is like that? It's like there's a thin line sometimes. But you just have to be, discerning. You have to be discerning. You have to be smart. But at the same time, not allowing things like that to get to you. Because that used to get to me really bad. I'm just like, how is it that I have supported you through all of this? And when I ask you for something so simple, nope, won't do it. Woo, that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there. And that's exactly what I did. You can't allow that to get you down. to be honest.
Everybody doesn't need to have access to you.
No.
To piggyback on what you said earlier, when we have our confidence level is up here and we have that self-love, we'll know, how to protect ourselves from things this doesn't mean us good. Protect ourselves from harm, and not just physical harm, but mental harm and emotional harm.
Yeah.
I think that's just the gist of it. Becoming aware of ourselves and our surroundings and the people that we put into our lives.
And one thing we really need to keep in mind is that everybody comes into our lives for a reason. Some people could be in our lives to inspire us, to help us to be better. But then other people could be in our lives to use us and abuse us, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, or whatever, even family sometimes. So we just have to stay on our toes with that and know how to handle that properly.
A reason, a season, a moment, or a lifetime. Some people don't even know why they're in your life. The same reason why you don't know why they're in your lives. But one thing is for sure, that time does tell.
Yes. I know. And I don't like trying to go past.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to us to know when to cut the cords or when to just put a pause on different things, different relationships, because we could spend 10, 15, 20 years surrounded by this person that just didn't make me no good. And it's sad because we don't know. So you have to have that spirit of discernment to kind of just feel things out and be aware of things. I hope someone takes this message and just gets inspired, because at the end of the day, loving ourselves is beautiful. Protecting your energy, being the light that you need to be, shining as bright as you can without anyone holding you back. That's all that it means. Life,
Absolutely. Thank you all again for tuning in to another episode of Wine Women Life. We always appreciate your views. We appreciate your comments as well. Please subscribe to our channel if you love our content. We are about women empowerment. We talk about relationships. We talk about inspirational things as well. So feel free to subscribe to our channel. If you love this video, give us a thumbs up, please. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Instagram at Wine Women Life, as well as our TikTok at Wine Women Life. Until next time, peace out, everybody.